Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Tenzin, 1/3 of the SOS podcast, and we're here for the fourth time on the show. I
Yeah, that's
believe this
true.
is, I believe this is appearance number four for you, Mr. Beck, man, because
Three or four,
you
one of
was,
those.
because you was with us back when we was still doing the vertical Instagram live. So you was with us through the trenches, man. Thanks so much. It's a pleasure once again. How you been?
I've been good, bro. I've been good. Just working and staying out the way. Working and staying
Well,
out the way.
that's all you can do these days, man. Just work, stay out the way. How's the family?
We're doing good. We got rid of the cats. I think you knew that. We got rid of the cats.
Oh man,
Um,
hopefully the good homes.
yeah, still paying bills, still living life, still working. That's all it seems like we do now. Wake up, go to work, come home, wake up, go to work, come home. So yeah.
Well, hey, you know what it is, man. Life is what you make it, right?
Yeah.
All right, Chad. So let's go on and cut to the chase. So, what I mean, in your personal scale, how do you grade this current administration now? Like, 'cause I think it's been over a year, right?
Yeah, it's been over a
Little
year.
over a year. Okay. So how do you grade it now, man? What's in your mind?
I'd say personally, I would give the administration right now like a 7.5, 8 out of 10.
7.5. What's
8 out
some
of
of the
10.
things let's talk about what you don't like about what they're doing, if you can.
What I don't like, um, I wouldn't necessarily say I don't like. Okay, so most of the stuff that the administration is doing is what I voted on them to do. Like it's actively what I voted for them to do. Like I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, what do y'all think about him now? He's doing all this stuff." It's like this is what we voted for him to do. I would say that I honestly don't think he's doing enough. Like some of the stuff he said he was going to do, he has not done. And it's only because he has like roadblocks on the way. It takes more time. Like the economy's doing it's all right now. It's not the best economy, but we also have to remember that the last 4 years we were in a terrible economy. Inflation was at 9%, 8%. They said, oh, interest rates, we need to like, okay, right now the Fed is keeping interest rates kind of relatively average. We just cut them maybe like a little bit ago, but they're hesitant on cutting the rates. But yet, right before the election, they dropped the rates like 50 basis points. So in my head, I'm like, it seems political, but I don't want to necessarily say it's political, but everything's indicating it's political. So, the economy could be a little bit better, but I'm also, giving Trump and his team time to really let the policies they want be implemented. Because I mean, the big beautiful bill or whatever they call it, then it just passed during the summer. And if it did just pass during the summer, it's only been like 6, maybe 7 months. Like nothing can really change in that amount of time. Now, by this summer
Mhm.
and the end of this year, I expect to see some things changing, but I'm already seeing some good things, coming down the pipeline. Like immigration, everybody voted for him wanted, immigration to happen the way it's happening. I mean, people can be treated a little bit better and things like that. But at
A
the same
little bit
time,
better.
yeah, because at the same time, you gotta think about it, bro. Like, okay, we let 20 million people in here unvetted, and now they're trying to remove these people. It's like, in my eyes, how I look at it is like people didn't care that 20 million people just moseyed across the border. And now that we're getting them out any type, like people cross the border any type of way. Now we're trying to get them out the country any type of way. People are all upset. Oh, you shouldn't. There are people too. There, if you like, I've always said, if you crossing the border, we have a way to do it. If you cross the border illegally, you're a criminal. Whether you care if they actually committed a crime or not, whether you're a high violent criminal or whatever you want to call it, you cross the border, you're a criminal. Like it is what it is. So I do think that ICE could handle the people a little bit better, but at the same time, we can't act like if Trump's sending ICE to places to get rid of the illegals and then you have governors and different people saying go protest, go stop ICE, be combative, be against them, and then you have stuff happen to people
Are
due to
are they
ICE.
actually saying are they actually saying be combative, or are they saying know your rights?
No, they're saying be combative. Like, especially in Minnesota, the governor, he's like, yo, we need to go fight ICE. We need to take the battle to them. We need to, um, do all these different things to combat ICE. And it's part of the media too. Like the media is like ICE is bad, ICE doing this, ICE doing that. And it's like, y'all remember
I
when,
mean,
I don't know if you do remember, but you remember.
ICE is doing it themselves, though. I mean, and also because like you have figures like AOC and Tim Walz saying, "Hey, know your rights. You do have rights, whether documented or not. Like, there's still things you got to go through." But
but
yet, you're seeing
but
these foot soldiers go through. Hold on, go ahead, go ahead.
can you say that someone crossing the border illegally has rights to a country that US citizens have the rights of? Like, if you cross the border legally, you have rights. If you cross illegally, what rights do you really have? You're not a citizen, you're a criminal. Like, I don't understand what rights you have. But even besides that point, when ICE was sent to Tennessee, to Memphis, people are all in arms. Oh, this is gonna be so bad. They're gonna be doing. They came to Memphis. Memphis people came back and put TikTok videos, YouTube videos up. This is the safest it's ever been. My kids are actually outside playing. I'm actually able to go to the grocery store. I can go out to my car at night. And it's in
According
the
to
in
who
the
though?
Yeah.
Because some of
uh,
those same people was talking about how those troops were a hindrance to them living there. I've seen just as many videos of people talking about how those troops have terrorized their communities. So it depends on who you're talking about, though.
that is true. But what I'm saying is that I'm kind of talking about the point of like how people are being combative to ICE when the Tennessee or Memphis governor and mayor were like, you know what, Trump, come in, we'll work with you. The police department will have you work with ICE. We'll get this done. And even though not everything went 100% okay, 95% of it did. Now, of course, the stuff that's bad is going to be the stuff that really gets shown around. But I did see where a lot of people in Memphis are like, yeah, like this was a great thing. You had pastors come out like, yes, we need to get this done. We need to clean up our streets. It's a lot of crime. It's a lot of, because ICE is there not only to get illegals, but their whole presence is just stopping crime in general. And when you have a state where the governor, the mayor are working with the federal government, allowing the police to work with ICE, not saying, oh, because like in Minnesota, Minneapolis, wherever you want to call it, the police, the governor and mayor, like, no, we're not letting you work with the federal government. So then you have ICE out there doing their own thing. The police have nothing to do
Well,
with it.
well, hold on though. On top of that, though, yeah, they might have some of those mandates for them not to work together. But even when those police departments have reached out to ICE and asked for more cooperation and coordination in some of these raids and stuff, ICE denies them that cooperation. The police, their jobs have been made harder. They've literally held press conferences about the fact that ICE is purposely not being transparent with them and screwing stuff up, screwing up active investigations, screwing up just general safety and peace in these areas.
Well, you have to think about it
So,
too.
so
So
I
like,
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. The mayors and the governors should be more open to working together. Fine. I mean, it is what it is. That's a political thing. But at the end of the day, when the police do reach out to ICE and these other federal agencies or whatever and try to get more cooperation, ICE is purposely barring them from these operations and keeping them in the dark and screwing stuff up around the city. They've made the police jobs 1,000% harder.
but it's not the police just deciding on their own, oh, we don't want to work. We try reaching out. Like in the instance of Memphis, Tennessee, the mayor and the governor said, no, we're going to work with you guys. In Minnesota, that's not the case. When Trump just announced we're going to send 2,500 or 1,500 troops there, the mayor said, no, we don't want y'all here. That's already combative. So like, They don't want the police. So in my head and how I see it is like those who are willing to cooperate, they cooperate. Those who give up any sort of pushback and no, we don't want you here and stuff like if your task as the federal government is okay, we're gonna go to this state, clean up this area, clean up this stuff, and you say we're gonna send the troops here. You know the mayor and governor are already being combative just on the announcement through the media, then you would probably say, just from what I would say is, you know what, we know they're not going to work with us. They're going to try to combat us the whole way. We're going to go in, get the job done, and just get the job done. And see, what I have a problem, I do have a problem with, you don't necessarily see this from like Republicans. I used to have some Republican governors and mayors, like, let's try to cooperate, or I don't think this should be done this way. That's all fine and dandy. But it's mainly the Democrats where it's like, some areas want to agree and go along with it, and then some want to be combative. And then when they don't, when the federal government and ICE don't try to cooperate with them, then it's y'all don't try to cooperate, and it's like you don't really want us to cooperate. You're just gonna be in the way. And the federal government got to kind of just get stuff done. I mean, at the end of the day, they just got to get stuff done. Like this is what the people voted for. Even if people say I didn't vote for this, Trump won by a landslide. Like majority of the country wants this to happen. Now we can disagree on the way it's going about happening, certain people getting shot and killed, they're roughing up some people. That is fine. But at the same time, we can't be all like they're doing it wrong when it's 20 million people came in here illegally. We got to get them out. At some point, we got to just get them out. It'd be like
So
having bad students in the class. Like, I mean, you could treat them with, oh, you didn't try to speak to the parents
But
and stuff,
I
but at
would
some point,
Chad,
you just got to get
I
them
would
out the way.
understand that more.
hold
I would
on.
understand that more if these people was just going out doing whole swaths of crimes like Trump keeps claiming they are. But they're not. Most of these people have lived amongst whether you consider them actual citizens or not, most of them have lived amongst the people of these areas for years, almost decades even. And they're going out beating them all over the head like they was just out here raping, murdering, and robbing everybody. Like that's not the reality there. And then too, talk about how they're making mistakes. Some of these mistakes are very, very costly. Like, you can't scream how efficient the federal government is while also turning a blind eye to them rounding up actual citizens and then having to let them go later on, and it'd be different if it was one or two. It's been a bunch of them rounding up actual citizens, snatching up people's grandmothers and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's not like you broke somebody's toy. These are people who are getting stomped in the head and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like these is real people,
Also,
real people's lives, And I think too, it's like, if you're gonna say that the federal government is going in there and saving these cities, show me the actual cases of these cities being like the way the Republicans and mainly Trump are making these cities sound is that they was on fire every day and it was Mad Max out there until he came in. That's not the case. That is not the case at all.
right, and also I
Go ahead, Trent. You was
just want to say, I don't know, I just want to say, Chad, I just the the words you're using, the framing, roughed up. I mean, you did say kill. That's yes. R.I.P. Renee Good and two other people who were shot by ICE. But they're not just getting roughed up, Chad. These are like gardeners and stuff, like in their ass whooped, like you know what I'm saying, like for existing, basically. And and I looked into the Memphis thing. Yeah, there's also protests going on in Memphis too. Like it seems like ICE isn't necessarily bringing peace; they're more so just agitating. Like Minneapolis was all fine and good, but once ICE came in, that's when all the things happen. And it's like, and they're not necessarily being combative, quote unquote. I mean, yeah, you got normal citizens, so yeah, go fuck yourself or whatever. But I mean, it's just been their actions since this administration came in that's causing this like public uprising, which yeah, people are just getting sick and tired of it now. And also too is, you got a president, as B would say, you know, leading people to believe like, oh yeah, this these cities are, you know, crime ridden, especially these leftist cities. But you know, we're gonna pick on Memphis again. Conservative, is in a conservative state. Memphis
No,
is
it's
one of the
Democrat
highest.
led. It's Democrat led.
It is.
Yeah. And that's what
But
was
anyway,
surprising,
but
that the Democrat mayor and governor were actually cooperating. And a lot changed. That's why like most of the
but
people are
other,
happy.
but I'm just saying, like most southern states are conservative, and you know, their murder rates are a lot higher than some of the other liberal ones. But what I'm trying to say is, it seems like ICE just kind of makes things worse. You know,
So
when they show up.
so to go off what y'all are saying. So like the people have lived here for years, they're getting them. I understand if you got a homie, not a homie, but somebody that happens to be illegal, they've been living here 10 years, they're a stand-up citizen, they've been doing stuff, but they're still a criminal because they got here illegally. Like my whole thing about the crossing the border illegally, even if you got here and you're the most peaceful, you've made friends, you open up businesses, you help out your community, you're still illegal because it's unfair to someone who waited years to do the process the right way and is now here legal. It would be different if we didn't have any sort of way to do anything legally. Then I would say, okay,
Bro,
like they're a good person on society, we'll just let them stay here. But it's the fact that we have a system, we have laws, and even if you're a good productive member, you're still illegal, and breaking the law is still illegal. It's still a criminal act. So they're still technically criminals. So they got to go. I mean, we can't say, oh, this person, they're good, they've been good since they've been here, where this person murdered someone. We don't have time to juggle 20 million people and figure out the difference. It's just, if you're here illegally, you got to go. And I mean, if you have your papers and stuff, you want to try to get back, cool, come back. You don't have no crime while you were here. You're upstanding. I have no problem. I don't think they have any problem with you coming back, but you got to do it the legal route. The other thing you guys said with people getting hurt from ICE, it's like, okay, ICE has roughed up some people. They've killed some people in some certain circumstances. But like, what about the people who are here illegally killing people? That's why we have the Lincoln Riley Act. That's why we have
Yeah,
all these different stories about.
that's the only name y'all know. I mean,
Yeah, because that's
like,
one that actually was like a viral moment. She just jogging. She's
mhm.
just a college student jogging. I mean, they create a whole app for her, but there are other people who have been found to be killed by illegals.
But
Usually they're
I mean,
raping, they're murdering. I mean, I understand like people are getting messed up, but it's like we can't just say,
yeah, but you
oh, we're
can't
worried
say
about.
they're raping or they're murdering. I think that's where the problem goes. You're saying they're as if the majority of these people is doing this stuff.
No,
The most rapes and murders are from actual naturalized citizens.
mhm.
These
that's fine, but we're not. But ICE isn't there for naturalized citizens. I understand what
I
y'all are saying.
mean,
Trump said from the start, we're going after the people who are illegal, who are dangerous criminals, committing rapes, murders, everything. That doesn't mean ICE is
and
going,
what we're
oh,
saying
they've
is the
committed rapes
opposite.
and but Trump and ICE aren't saying, oh, we found the people creating rapes and murders. These other people sitting right here are illegal. We're just going to ignore them for now. No, we're rounding everybody up.
That's
Everybody's
the
got to
problem,
go.
though. That's the problem. He literally sold during the election. He sold. This is why there's been a lot of anger at a lot of the Latino community who voted for him because he sold his base on the mindset that he was going after the rapists, the murderers, the criminals, the violent offenders, all them people. Okay, he
Did you?
said
But
them
did
was
you
the
guys?
people. No, I'm not saying I believed it. I knew he was lying. All I'm
No, no,
saying is
no, 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 no. It's not a lie. That's what I'm saying. Did you vote?
that
Did
is a
y'all vote?
lie. If he
Did
said
y'all
he was
both vote? Did y'all vote? Did y'all vote for Trump? No, right?
no,
The
No.
Latinos and everybody who's gotten duped saying, "Whoa!" Like he said, he was only going after the rapists and the high crime people. They believe the delusion. I've always known. I voted for Trump. I knew he said we're going after illegals and we're going after the high crime illegals. We're going after illegals. Period.
But
That's what I voted on.
Chad, like
Illegals.
the last
Period.
it depended on which room
you
he was in. Though
you
that's
was
the thing.
telling that
It's
same
still a
stuff in the
lie.
last
Like
episode you
It's
had.
not a lie. He said he's going after illegals,
depending on
and
who he was in front of, he switched up them speeches. I unfortunately made the mistake of watching a bunch of his speeches. I seen him straight up tell this lie.
But
Okay,
what I'm
and
saying is, it's not a lie. If I go into one room and say we're getting all illegals, and I go into another room and saying we're gonna prioritize the illegals who are raping and murdering people first, they're the same thing. We're going after illegals. The only people who are
okay,
confused
so
by
now
this,
that's just semantics.
I
That's a
voted.
lie.
No, I voted. It's not semantics. I voted. I voted for Trump, knowing he's going after
So
illegals. I don't care if he prioritizes people who commit no crimes or people who commit the highest level of crimes. They're all criminals because they're
I
all illegal.
understand
so
that that's your personal mindset. What I'm saying is the way he sold this to the American people from his speeches, especially as his popularity was gaining in the polls, he sold it as he was going after violent offenders. When he went, and I'm telling you straight up, I didn't believe him. I knew he was lying. Most rational people knew he was lying. I'm just saying that's how he sold it to the American people. Then when he put pen to paper, switched it all up. And there was a process, there were legal processes to find those violent offenders. He purposely ignored them and started going after everybody. That's what I'm talking about with the lie.
But what I'm saying is, you can't tell me that he lied and I voted on him, telling you that I voted for him to get illegals in general. If people think that Trump has lied to them, they didn't actually hear anything he said. I'm telling you, someone who voted for him voted for illegals to be sent back to where they came from, that he said he's going after all illegals. Now, he did, when he started doing the operation, oh, we're just going and we're getting some of the high crime people, but he's getting the rest of them too. He's not just skipping over, he's getting illegals. That's what I'm saying. If you are a Trump supporter who actually voted for Trump, you know that everything he's doing now is what we voted on. Like I told Marcus, I think that they could actually do way more. He's actually being way less, as people like to call, dictator and
Well,
authoritarian. If
here's
you look
my issue too with the whole illegal thing, right? Okay, you say he's going after the illegals.
yeah,
Okay, now vehemently don't agree with that, but I would, if I was of that mindset, I would understand him going after straight up straight up definition illegals. What about the people who were already in the process of becoming citizens or getting green cards, okay, who were going through the court system, they the quote unquote the right way. They was going through the legal system. He purposely canceled all of their statuses, called them in for their regular court hearings that they thought was on the up and up, and had ICE agents waiting in the courtrooms for them. What about that? That to me is also wrong, because how can you tell people, hey, you need to do it the right way, then they do it the right way and you still kick them out?
the
And that
thing,
wasn't one or two people, bro. That was
no,
a
that's
bunch of people.
I'm gonna explain that too. Okay. And maybe you know don't agree with this point, right? So if we have 20 million people who are, let's say, let into the country illegally, and we have a process, and there's 1 million people waiting to go through the proper channels to get in here legally, right? Okay, we have to first get everybody that doesn't belong out. So we're just going to stop it altogether. All migration being stopped altogether. Now that we've gotten a handle on the migration, those who want to come into the country, the legal means, get back through the line, we'll get you processed. Now, if you don't agree with that, yes, you know, you're doing it the right way, that is fine. But we have an active issue on our hands, and the American people voted. Let's get the illegals out. We don't have time to do both, because now we have to check, are you really good? Okay, while we're rounding up people. It would be like if you're inside of a grocery store and there's a mass shooting and you're in line and you're trying to get groceries. This is not a good example, but I'm just trying to like relay it so it makes a little bit more sense what I'm saying. It's like if you're in a, let's say you're doing something and 10 people cut the line, and then they say, all right, we're not checking out anybody in the grocery store line. We're stopping all grocery store checking out. Now that we stopped it all, everybody that was cutting the line, you got to leave the store. Okay, now that they're gone, all right, let's get back in the line and let's start checking out again. That's basically all they're doing. We have to make sure we get everybody out and then come in the right way. Now we can track it properly. You can't just let some in, send some out. The process will be too convoluted. You got to
The
just do it
problem with
one
that though
way
is these
or the
people
other.
in your example, already paid for their groceries and then got kicked out while their groceries was still on the conveyor belt. Like these people were like
But
they were doing the paperwork, going to their court hearings.
that's,
He tricked them with false court hearings and kicked them out. You like I'm saying, like you talk about stopping people from coming in. They was
I've seen,
already in. They was
I've
already
seen,
in. They was
I've
already
seen
doing the
people,
paperwork. They were
I've seen
already
people have gone to the immigration office to try to renew their visas and different stuff. That's too bad. It's too bad. If you're
That
going to renew your
that
visa,
hold on,
if
Chad.
you're
Come
going
on,
to
Chad.
renew your visa, no, listen. If you're
What
going
do you
to
mean? No,
renew
no, hold
your
on, hold on, hold on,
visa,
hold on, hold on.
then your
That's
visa's up.
wait. That's the language I keep running into. You keep saying too bad, what the fuck. But these are people we're talking about, Chad. And also like
They
you were
are.
singing a very different tune, the last panel debate we had. You were saying, yeah, we're going after the gangsters. We're going after the drug dealers. We're going after the
They
ninjas.
are.
Now you're saying all the illegals. But no, I'm just saying like you were now you're just saying all the illegals. But also, you know, that's clearly not the case because we've seen countless examples of college students being targeted and they have visas and ICE is kidnapping them for what? Having bad ideas? Like, well, scary ideas to the administration? Like, you see that too. And also, you see a lot of American citizens like Umbrego Garcia. I mean, Trump had a hard on for this guy. Like, they even edited MS-13 on his knuckles, which it wasn't. Like, so,
Rego Garcia is not, he's not a United States citizen. He's a El
okay, but there was
Salvadorian
still.
citizen. He's committed crimes here. He's gotta go, bro. He's gotta go. You know,
What evidence
I'm
do y'all
human.
have?
I feel for all these people, but the way the media said it, he's a citizen of
There's
Delaware
literal
or Virginia. He's
veterans
not. He's a
being
citizen of El Salvador. He was sent back
and
to
there's
El
literal veterans
Salvador.
being like illegally.
Say
And
again.
also a lot of people being sent to I said, yeah, he got sent there illegally. The courts was like, hey, what the fuck are you doing, Trump? Bring him back. And they kept
He
ignoring
doesn't.
it.
You can't.
And they
He doesn't
finally
have to
going
bring him back because he's not a U.S. citizen.
but the deportation
so the
was
courts
still
mean nothing.
illegal though. It doesn't matter. Like he still violated the law. As I say, you can't expect these people to follow the law and then be totally cool when Trump don't follow it. Like that's
What law? What law? What law?
the
If
law
he's
for the
illegal,
deportation.
he's
He straight up
illegal.
violated the law.
You know, for deportations, when you go to deportations, you don't act when you go to a deportation hearing, you don't have to have a judge say, okay, we're going to hear your deportation hearing. This is going to be a 10-week trial. No, when you go to a deportation hearing, they say, hey, this is a deportation hearing. You're being deported. You don't have any rights. You're
I
illegal.
get what you're trying to say, Chad, but even with those rules, Trump still violated a rule that for real, like most
What
other
rule?
presidents have been able to follow those rules
What
to the
rule?
letter of the law. Trump somehow was the only president who found a way to violate one of the easiest laws to follow anyway. Like you
What
can
law?
I don't know what specific one, Chad, but he violated the law. The
What
court
law?
I don't know
What
what
law? What
specific.
rule? That's what
Ask
I'm saying.
the courts. He the one who violated them. I'm just saying you can't say that the illegals need to follow the letter of the law, wait in line, do all this stuff, be good old boys to come into the country, and then we got the president of the United States literally says, "Oh, constitution, judges, courts doesn't matter." Like you can't. How
A
are you?
lower a lower court judge can't tell the federal government and the president what to do. That's not how this works. That's not how it works. That's the problem. The lower courts and all these judges in these random cities and states, you cannot tell the president what to do. The Supreme Court can, not these lower courts. You can't just say, no, bring him back. Abrego Garcia, bring him back. That's not how this works. He's gone. He's gone. That's El Salvador's problem now. It doesn't work like that. I don't know how people thought lower courts could just tell the federal government what to do. That's not how this works. And if he broke any laws, What law? What rule? Like people are acting like we didn't see Obama be nominated the deporter in chief and get millions of people out for
Hold on.
years.
Before we start on the Obama
But
train, let's
was
go
he
down.
was he
Obama was
policing ICE
deporting
in the
actual
street?
violent offenders, and he took the time to make
So
sure
you're
these was
saying
violent
millions of
offenders.
people were violent offenders?
They actually had a due process to find out them people was violent offenders. I'm not
So you
saying
know for a fact they were all
all.
given due
Chad, you
process
think
to
I got
figure
a
out.
whole packet full of all
Exactly.
the millions
But
of
you're
them?
proving my point. You
And
just gotta
Chad, you
get
were
him
just as
out.
confident about
Chad,
it's like you
Chad,
guys
what I'm
talking
telling you
circles.
is the Obama administration went through due process to make sure that these people were actual violent offenders. Trump, on the other hand, waived all due process and just decided to throw these people anywhere. And to the
You
ones
don't
he really didn't like, he wasn't even sending them to their country of origin. He was sending them to Africa and stuff. Like,
you don't have to give illegals due process. Their due process is you show up to court and we say you're illegal, you're getting deported. That's your due process. The only right you have as an illegal for your due process is you show up and you are stand in front of a judge and they
I'm
say
just saying,
this is your due
but do you
process.
understand why the comparison to Obama doesn't make sense, dude?
What I'm just comparing, they've both deported people. Even if you say Obama
It's
gave them a
two
due process,
wildly
you don't.
different ways of deportation. Trump is
Yes,
just
one is you're saying Obama and them really went through and figured out who is illegal. Trump and them are saying, okay, we have 20 million people here illegally. Let's give them their due process. You show up to court, that's your due process. You're gone. You don't have to do anything else. You just show up. If I was illegal and I showed up in court for my immigration hearing or my whatever you want to call it, they could say, Mr. Beck, Chad, this is your due process. You're going back to your country of origin. That's it. I can't. There's nothing I can say like I haven't been given. You don't have any rights. You're illegal. My question to you
I
both
mean, that's
is
not well, that's not
is
I don't think they
what
don't
do y'all
have
really
any
not
rights.
like about the illegal deportations? Like, you could cut past the Trump and all that. Like, what don't you like? Do you not like how they're being deported? Do you not like we're deporting illegals in general? Like, where do y'all draw the line on like what are y'all not happy with? Because I think the problem is I don't really understand why people are unhappy with illegals being deported. Like, if you got here
Well,
illegally,
okay,
whether you've been here as a
here's
good
I
my
guy or
think
problem,
not,
Chad. Here's my
understandably.
problem, Chad. It's kind of what I started out with.
okay,
Let's not even say Trump.
okay,
Republicans have been toting this lie for years that
mhm.
all these illegals are coming in, invading these cities, mainly the southern ones, and that they're just causing rivers of blood through the cities. Okay, that is not true. Most of these illegals have been here for decades. A lot of them are registered taxpayers, everything. Okay, now what I have a problem with these deportations is they started out, like I said, that they were going after violent criminals. Now, yes, I acknowledge I was one of the people who said that is a load of bull. I know exactly what they're going to do. Okay. Now, instead of going after the violent criminals, the ones that y'all claim is out here killing and raping everybody, okay, let's say, God forbid, I took y'all at your word that these illegals was going around killing all these innocent people. Get them people out. But the problem is y'all not doing that. Y'all taking gardeners, people who work at cafeterias, all types of stuff, okay? And instead of following the letter of the law, and yes, we do, they may not have the same rights of us, but they do have some rights. And I'm not an immigration attorney. I can't tell you what rights they have,
They
but
have
they do.
none.
No, that's not true. They do not
The
have
right,
zero
I
rights.
just
They do
told you the
not have
right. The
zero
right
rights.
they have is to a court hearing for deportation.
If we had
You
an actual
showing up is
immigration attorney on here, I bet you they'd be willing to tell you different. I know that they have
that's
some rights,
that's
and Trump is
interesting.
actually violating them. Okay,
If
and the
they had
problem
rights
is,
and they were being violated, you can't
And
have rights
also,
being
also,
illegal though.
Chad, also, listen, back in 2019, an immigration judge did grant him withholding of removal status due to the danger he would have faced going back to El Salvador. Also, he was never charged with crimes either here or there. So, and yes, his deportation was illegal, especially going to CCOT,
Just
which
because
that
it's
shouldn't
dangerous for you to
exist.
return home doesn't mean you're not returning home.
Chad,
You gotta
a
go
fucking
home.
didn't I just say that a judge? Okay, literally a judge
Even
grants
if a
permission to
judge,
say,
even if a judge says it's too dangerous for you to return home, you're illegal, you're going home anyway. That's not our problem anymore. And there's no rights. You cannot get rights to the
but also
US
he's married to
and
an
you're
American citizen.
illegal.
Does that
No,
not count?
all people, regardless of immigration status, have the rights to due process and to defend themselves in court. Like that. That's just straight up.
Right. The right to show up to court and be deported is your right. That's
Defend
it.
themselves in court. They don't even get a chance to defend themselves. They
There's
just write the paper
you
and get them
don't
out of
have
there.
the right to defend yourself. You have the
Yes, you
right for
do.
the
That's
court
just a straight up
appearance.
right, regardless of immigration status. That I do know.
That's a right for us American
No,
citizens.
brother,
You
that's
showing up to court
I
is
know
your
for
right.
sure. I know for
So,
sure. You everybody, regardless of immigration status, has the right to defend
That's
themselves in
not
court and due process.
true. That's not true. If you're illegal, the
but
only right you have is for a court appearance. And when you show up to court, they can literally go, "Thank you, B, for showing up to court. You are now deported." That's your right. That's it. Your right to show up to court. It doesn't mean you have the right to show up to court and then you could talk about how you should stay and stuff. They can literally see you show up and just say, "You're going back." That's it. That's the only
so
right
let
you
me ask
have.
you this. Let
Me
me
and you, we all have rights because we're American citizens.
so
All right.
let me ask you this, Chad, because I mean, again, you conveniently would just say, "Oh, well, they're illegal. Who gives a fuck?" But Chad, I mean, so if you was in another country, which I lost my train of thought,
That's a
but it's
it's
just the whole just doing that to
it's
them, and it's
no
just like again, we got a guy who's married to an American citizen, by the way. I mean, that should keep you here. Also, a judge did grant him a right to stay because they found, oh, if we send him back, he clearly faces, dangers. The same thing as asylum seekers, right? Which y'all hate that. But let me ask you this though. Like, if you could reform, would you agree to any sort of like reform on the immigration policies?
I
Because
mean,
I'd say if you've been here, and listen, as much as I laughed at that nigga, that Trump supporter who owned that Trump burger shop getting deported, I mean, if he hadn't committed any crimes, I would support just saying, well, shit, you know what? You're already here. You're established. We'll go ahead and do something to make you a citizen. I would support that. Like, if you're nonviolent, you're not a
that
criminal.
makes sense, and I could get around to agreeing with that. But the thing is, he's illegal, right? He hasn't done anything. He has his own whatever type of store you said he has. Okay, you're
Mhm.
still illegal. You gotta go. But you haven't done anything criminally wrong since being here, besides be a criminal because you were illegal. Well, when you come back to the US, we'll make the process seamless to get you on through because we know you're a productive member
All
of
right.
society,
Hold on,
but you're
chat.
still illegal.
And how is immigration affecting you?
How is it affecting me? Immigration, with more people being in the country, right? We already have a housing problem. We already seen where in New York and stuff, they let them stay in hotels for free. We seen in Chicago, they're giving them $10,000 debit cards. They're giving them all these different rights that, if we're being real, we have veterans here that need help. We have a homeless problem here. There are plenty of things we could do for the people
I mean,
already here
if but if
legally
you're
and are
but if you're an
already
illegal
citizens.
but if you're an illegal, you know, if you're a undocumented illegal resident in this country, you're not getting any benefits that these
They've
Trumpers
given
keep
them
claiming they get.
benefits. They've given them
No, they're
benefits.
not.
You can look it up. Yes, Marcus, they have. That's why people have been complaining. There are people in New York, they have
I
people
mean,
complaining.
what people though?
Citizens are like, why are they able to get $10,000 credit cards and debit cards, or why are they able to get Social Security money pumped into these different protection programs and
I
stuff?
mean, that's
Why
what
are
I'm
they
saying. They
able
don't
to
get
get
Social
housing?
Security. If they're
Why are
not
they
citizens, they're not gonna get Social Security. That's what the fuck I'm saying. It's like you
Yeah.
guys don't.
Marcus, I'm telling you, they've been given that, and that's the problem. That's why people are
Okay.
upset. This isn't like I'm just throwing this out my ass. This is, people have actually seen this, and it's an actual thing. Like, they've using other programs funding to fund illegals. They've given schools for illegals to stay in. They won't do that for the homeless. They've given hotels for free for illegals. They don't do that for the homeless. They don't do that for regular citizens.
Well, hold
So
on, but
the only thing,
a lot of the times though, when funding does try to go to homeless programs, it's Republicans who shut a lot of that stuff down.
That's not
Same
the
thing with the
point.
same thing with the social programs. The social programs, the
But that's
Republicans
not the
shut the fuck.
point.
What you mean it's not the point? You talk about we don't
Because
take care of
these are
Americans.
two,
When we
because we're
try to take
arguing
care of Americans, Republicans shut it down. So you
that there's
can't
a
be talking
difference.
about how
There's
you
a
want to take care of
but
Americans
B,
and then
B,
not take care of Americans at the same time.
there's a difference in not taking care of your own and taking care of people who are not even part of us. It would be like you live in your house with your parents, and instead of your parents taking care of you, they decide to take care of a stranger off the street who you may know for a week. They come in off the street, they come in for a week, and they're giving everything. And you're like, why, when I ask for this stuff, I don't get it? Or let's say three random people show up at your house, and it's like, well, you guys mismanaged the money y'all gave to me, but now y'all are mismanaging these illegal people, these strangers' money. It's like I would rather them mismanage regular American citizens' money, and I could complain about that all day, that we mismanage the money and we're giving it to illegals too. We can't do both. We have to cut one off that shouldn't even be in the picture.
They're not
And the
doing
only out,
anything. I think that's my problem. Whenever I hear about the illegals is taking all the
but
resources,
that's a
it's
different
the
argument.
Republicans who's holding up the resources
It's a
for
different
Americans
argument,
too.
though.
You know what
That's
I'm
a different
saying? Same
argument.
thing
I
with
can
the housing
understand.
crisis. You was talking about the housing crisis, right? The housing
Yeah,
crisis isn't because the illegals. The housing crisis is because the government on both sides of the aisle, I'm not just going to blame that on Republicans, have allowed private corporations to go around buying up whole swaths of land and
that
multiple
is the
housing,
problem.
yeah,
That is
and
the
rising up
problem.
the cost. That has
And what did
nothing to
Trump
do
just
with
come out and
illegal.
say? What did Trump just come out and say? He said, I am trying to pass a law or a bill to stop private businesses like BlackRock, Vanguard, etc., from buying single family homes or buying swaths of homes in general.
Most of
He
those
literally just
corporations
came
are
out with
his
that.
donors, so it doesn't really. I could care less.
I
Most
can
of the
I
corporations
can
are his
understand.
donors.
But we can't sit here and say no one's doing anything, and then I give you an
Until it
example of where
actually
they're.
passes and it has real, actual like protections of the American home
But
buyers,
you
I don't care what he got to say
that's
because
that's
he
but
can
that's fine.
promise
But you
all.
can't. But why talk about it? See, my whole thing is like, why talk against it? Oh, if it actually happens, if I don't believe they're really gonna do that, but they're proposing it. We should be behind it. Like, yes, this is a good thing. This needs to happen, and that's my whole problem. It seems like no matter what Trump does, no one's gonna be happy about
Here's the
anything
problem. You
he's
said
doing.
does. You said does. I do care about what he does. Problem is he says a whole lot too and don't do nothing. So
I'm
that's my
I'm
thing.
telling you that
Like,
as a voter of Trump, the stuff he is actively doing is exactly what I voted for. And like I told Marcus at the beginning, I gave him his administration right now. I said they're like a 7.5, 8 out of 10. They could get up to a 9.5, 10 out of 10 if they actually went harder on all this stuff. He's actually being very milquetoast. He's actually going by following the rules. If he was just steamrolling his way through, then it wouldn't be anything
rules.
anybody could do.
the problem
I'm
is
being for
though,
real.
the problem is my issue is 90% of these deportations he's using under the Alien Enemies Act. Okay. Like he's trying like that's the only way he can try to justify the deportations is by using a BS maritime law. You know what I mean? Like, and that's why the courts and stuff was going after him was because he's using the Aliens Enemies Act. Like, if he really thought this was 100% up to code, he would just deport them the regular way. Why you got to bring up something? And then that's why the courts keep going after him because he's classifying these people as alien enemies. Also, I just want to go to another point on the deportations. You brought up a lot about how, if they are cool, they can just get back in line. All right. I think, was it the last estimate in terms of citizenship wise was in like the 20-year range, maybe even higher. What do you mean just get back in line? By the time they get back in line and get back in here, 20 something years will have passed. It's not just as simple as coming back in the door and be like, hey, y'all, he made a mistake. Can I get in now? Sure, come on. Like, you talk about streamlining the process has been broken for decades. And I'll give you the point. Trump didn't break that process, sure, but he sure as heck ain't trying to make it no better, nor are any of the other Republicans who've tried, you know what I mean? There have been bipartisan efforts to try to make the immigration process simpler and better for citizenship. The problem is it's mainly other Republicans who go against those ones who go on the bipartisan bills and end up shutting those things down. You know what I mean? Like,
that
so
is true, but it's not even just Republicans like this. Like, it is a bipartisan issue, but the reason they voted against those bipartisan bills is because they came with so much pork. Like the recent one, that omnibus, the big bill, and the government shut down. They were trying to say, okay, we'll close the border, but we need to send money to Israel. We need to send more money to Ukraine and Russia. We need to send money to Israel and Gaza. How, and separate from that, how I think immigration should go is we just need to do it like this. We send all the illegals back. Then America says no more immigration for a certain amount of time. It may take 6 months to a year. We rehaul the whole system. Now that everybody knows the new rules, what all the laws are, all right, if you want to come in, start your application, you can come in. But I don't think the way we're going about it, these people come in, these people haven't done anything. I think that's all just playing the same old games where nothing really changes. The whole system needs an overhaul, but we don't need to let anybody in until we overhaul it. If they just shut immigration down and said, America will worry about America. If you want to come here, maybe apply for a visa. That's the only way into the country. If you want to get here legally, we have to redo the legal system. And it may take 2 years for that system to be redone. And then you can come on in. It's not going to be like, you're deported and you turn around and apply and you come right through the door. No, I don't think that. If it takes you 3 years after you're deported, I mean, it's just going to take you 3 years. If you really want to be here, you'll go through the process after 3 years.
But it's not 3 years. It's 20-something years, though. That's what
I told you. Take them 4 years.
Do you know how many industries in this country would shut down if we did that?
Shut them down.
The auto industry is already hurting after what he did to them Korean immigrants.
Auto industry gonna be messed up. If
you'd rather tank the economy than have immigrants.
I'd rather tank the economy and build it up the right way. The reason the economy would tank in the first place.
That sounds ridiculous.
That means nothing would ever change.
Multi-decade recession over some immigrants.
We should have been in a recession. We should have been crashed the system. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So you and your kids gonna be out on the street. Oh boy, thank God Maria and them ain't sweeping the floors at Taco Bell.
But listen. My whole thing is if you've built an industry or you've built a business on being illegal, then at some point something's gonna happen to where all that you have gained is gonna be torn down from this one thing. If you've built it up, it's like somebody who just builds their life on a lie. They just keep building up on the lie or keep building up on the lie. Eventually, once the lie's gone, everything's going to come crashing down. That's not my problem. It's not y'all's problem. It's their problem. If the industry crashes because they want to build it on illegal or deceitful means, then it's meant to crash. Like, we just have to do it the right way the next time.
Okay, so that means all these multi-billion-dollar companies need to just
let them crash. Yeah, let them crash. If the economy crash, it crash. We gotta. It's like being trillions. Okay. I do. It's like us being trillions in debt. Should we just keep on printing money and acting like we'll ever be able to bring it down? It's not gonna happen. Our interest rates on the U.S. debt is more than the entire military budget, which means that no matter what we do, we're not going to pay off this debt. So it's either, I would personally say, default on all of it, crash the whole system, and we have to rebuild. But the problem with that is it's impractical for me. I mean, I would say do that, but it's impractical in real life terms to do that because we're all living lives. We all have jobs. We'll be out here eating dirt for a living, and it would just be war and chaos.
Right. So why do all that bullshit instead of just actually?
Because you can't overhaul a system that's corrupt and broken and not functioning the way it should when you're not going to get rid of the root problem. The root problem of all this is it's been set up in a way that doesn't make sense and is why we're having these arguments in the first place.
And you
If it
know,
was set up,
and I
oh, keep
looked
going.
up that thing about Chicago, and it's just like I didn't see nothing about no $10,000 credit cards. Now I did see, you know, the city itself was raising money for asylum seekers, which is a legal process, by the way.
Everybody's going to say they asylum seekers,
So
bro.
okay, and that's a legal process that people have a right to. But
It's going to it's going to take some
and I'm
more
saying
research,
this,
Marcus, to find the
and,
So
and
EBT
you
maybe,
know,
debit
and
card
also,
maybe
but
thing.
also too, like
some of
just
the
throwing
asylum,
these like
we didn't go down to South
undertrained
America and treat it like our backyard all the time.
and,
Like,
and, you know, and sending these undertrained officers out here well, who are shooting women in the face for turning away from them and stuff, or just being violent in general, like that's not helping
When I
either.
when I, okay, stuff is gonna happen everywhere, man. When they said we're giving,
Stuff that could have been
what we,
avoided if they
you
did
can't
not increase
avoid
the ICE
everything.
presence
If
in
there are
there.
20 million people here and you're trying to get them out, you have the media against
And
you, Democrat mayors
you're
and politicians
promising,
against you. What I'm
and
saying
you're
is, Marcus, you're not gonna be able to do stuff 100% right. Not everything's gonna
of
happen
course
the
not,
100%
problem
but
is you
I'm
right.
keep
just
saying
saying,
it as
like, but
stuff.
why?
Stuff is me
Because see,
losing my phone. Stuff is me losing my
yeah,
keys. Stuff
People
isn't
may
me
lose
stomping
their
out.
lives.
Stuff isn't me stomping
Chad,
out
you sound
16 year
like a
olds.
dude.
You know what I
People
mean?
may lose it. What I'm saying is that this process, the process that we're talking about is 20 million people came here illegally with the doors wide open, no vetting. Now that we're getting them gone,
Without
everybody wants there to
leaving.
be some sort of process, some sort of vetting. If they got here without vetting, they're leaving without vetting. If people are like, oh, they're hurting
What
people,
up, Kim?
they're doing different things. You know, people hurt people all the time. I'm not saying that things could be, yes, they could be doing some stuff to be extra gentle, but we also have to talk about how in the times we're in right now, everybody is against ICE. That's why they're protesting. That's why they're doing all these things. Do I wish Renee Good never got shot? Yes. Have I seen the video of what led up to Renee Good getting shot? Yes. It's unfortunate she died, but I see how she got shot. I mean, I can't say that's bad. That's bad. No, we have to think about the circumstances of the ICE agent. We have to think about Renee Good. Things just didn't
What
pan out.
The ICE agent should have been trained better to, not lose his mind and
exactly?
pull out the gun and shoot her in the
That's
face.
what,
I was also
and, you
gonna
know,
say that
and
when they said you can get $50,000 if you join ICE, I went to ICE site and said, let me see what the application process is like. They're not just letting Joe Blow off the street and just say, I'm an ICE
actually,
agent.
there's been some exposés of people doing
You have to
applications
be a
and
former
they getting
officer.
streamlined.
You have to be a grade
No, I
13 and
mean, there's
above to
been
even be considered, which means you already have to be in law enforcement. They're not just giving people off the
there's
street
been investigative journalists
$50,000.
who have done applications and they've been pretty streamlined. Like they're hiring pretty much anybody, and and I know what you're saying, and they're saying that on paper, but yeah, like
Marcus, if you apply,
these
they're not going to
untrained
accept you,
dicks,
bro.
they probably would. Like, I mean, their standards are very fucking low right
Yeah,
now.
I was about to say, yeah, they got mad low. And also, one of the reasons
Free
for the
BD.
low
Oh
standards,
god.
one of the reasons for the low standards for real, is because they have a horrible retention rate. You know why? Because most of the people who sign up and get approved for these end up leaving pretty quickly because they see the abuses that ICE is doing and they don't want to be a part of it. That's why they're offering that whole incentives of the $50,000 signing bonus and stuff like that, because they keep
Which
trying to
they don't
get new
even get
people.
right on.
Because yeah, that's the other thing too. A bunch of the promises they're making to get people in there turn out to be either, I wouldn't say flat out lies, but they're pretty close to lies. But
Yeah.
again, yeah, they have a horrible retention rate, and because people keep constantly leaving. Same thing at the detention centers like Alligator Alcatraz. The retention for Alligator Alcatraz guards is terrible because people go there, see the human rights abuses, and end up quitting within like the first 2 months.
I think people are actually joining ICE more than you think. And I mean, yeah, some are probably leaving. People leave at every job.
No, they're joining. They're joining and leaving. That's what I'm saying. That's why they keep having to recruit more and more people because more and more people keep running. Like because nobody.
That's fine. That's fine. They can join and leave. That I mean, okay, you joined and you left.
Do you not see why that's a problem? Why so many people
So
keep
you're
coming?
saying I was hired for my company, and y'all came and joined, y'all said, "Oh, we think it's a great company." You get there and you're like, I don't know if I really belong here or want to do any of this," and you leave. That's a problem with me.
Yes, because if it was just us two, that's fine. It's whatever. But if you constantly getting new staff and the old staff and people keep leaving, that is bad. That means
But you
there's
can't.
something
But you
wrong
can't.
structurally with the company that people do not feel comfortable
Okay.
enough to stay. That is bad. That is
But you
indicative
can
of that
say
organization.
But you can say that's like saying 50%. That's like the term 50% of marriages end in divorce. Well, 100% of marriages are marriages.
The same
People got married
thing.
to get divorced. So 100% got married. 50% got divorced. Okay, but for you to get divorced, you still have to be married. That's basically the same thing as what we're
Marriages
saying
aren't an
here.
Okay.
organization.
Okay.
Marriages are individual pacts between
I'm
two
giving
separate
you the
people.
analogy. I'm
I
giving you the
understand what you're
analogy.
saying, but what I'm saying is from an organizational standpoint, that is
Okay.
bad. Okay. That
So organization is
if
an
you went
entity and
to
you join as an entity. That's two different people. A marriage is one person is an
no, that's
entity and
not
you're
two
the
different
entity.
people. An organization is an organization. Like if people keep coming in there and keep leaving in short amount of times too, it'd be different if people was coming and leaving after 5 years or so. People are going and leaving after months, not even 5 months.
Some
That's what
people
I'm
don't
talking
stay at
about.
their job months.
Some people.
Okay.
Do you hear what you just said?
Okay.
Some
Guys.
people.
Some there
These
I
are
know people.
hundreds of people around the
All right.
country.
I
All right.
know people
All
who
right.
have joined jobs and left within months. That doesn't
Okay.
tell me anything. They still
All right.
joined the job. So at some point they join.
People,
You have to
people.
join to leave.
Okay. Okay.
You're
So
breaking it down to the individual. I'm saying on an organizational
yeah.
level, when you have an organization where the whole swath of their staff are constantly leaving and they have to keep recruiting new ones to replace them, and it's not seasonal work, because that'd be the other thing. If these were seasonal work opportunities,
It's not
then I'd
seasonal.
understand. What?
I
What is
said this
that?
isn't a seasonal job.
He just said
Exactly. That's my
that.
point. That's what I'm
But you're
saying.
but you're but
It's
you're but you're but you're but you're not
Guys,
saying
guys,
anything.
guys. Hold on, real quick. I'm gonna let y'all get the last word on this, but we did. I did promise Chad that we would, you know, talk about him too. So
I
we
mean,
can wrap up
we
the.
don't. I mean, I enjoyed the conversations with you guys because I
I
haven't
know
talked to y'all
it
in
was.
forever. Because I don't have much going on, Marcus. I'm just out the way right now. Like I'm off social
Okay then.
media. I'm off everything
Well,
but YouTube.
okay, but okay. Well, anywho, like as we're saying, so even the foot soldiers themselves are seeing the writings on the wall. Like, oh fuck no, we need to get out of here. And, and you know, and again, also we have a sitting president of the United States just believing bullshit. Like, remember when that motherfucker was on the stage, ABC Live, debate. They're eating the cats and the dogs and shit. And, Mirror had to be like, sir, that's literally not happening. What the fuck are you talking about? I wish he would have said it just like that because that's what that deserved. But yeah, but you got a president who'll just run with any bullshit story and not fact checking himself. I mean, same thing with the Renee Good thing. Him and Christy Nome over here believing a ghastly misrepresentation of what happened, and he's just spouting the nonsense for his
Have you
followers.
seen the video?
Yes, we have, and
Yes.
there was in no way, shape, or form that nigga was any threat whatsoever. It's like,
You saw him get hit by the car. You heard the thud of
He
the
did
car
not get
hitting him.
hit by that car, Chad. He did not get hit
See,
by
this
that
is see
car.
now we see
He
now
did not
we
get
can't we
hit.
can't. Have
He
you
did
seen the
not.
You're not
video?
operating in
His
reality,
Yes.
video.
Chad. Like,
I
what the
seen
fuck is
all
wrong with
3
you?
angles of the video.
So
He did
the
not get
video
hit by the
of his
car.
video where he's standing in front of the
That
car
makes him look
and
worse.
the wife goes, drive, baby, drive. She drives. You hear, ooh, you hear the
Driving
car hit
away.
him. You hear the car hit him. The problem is you guys are looking at it from the bystander spectator point of view. You
Chad,
have to put yourself in his shoes. He's
Chad,
standing in front of the car. Drive, baby, drive.
Chad,
He gets hit, Marcus. He
Chad,
gets hit.
Chad.
Chad, we
Why the
seen
fuck would he get in
every
front of the car
angle of that
anyway?
video known to man.
That
All
car
right,
gotta slow it
and
up. Hold
all
on.
okay. I hear what you saying
His
on his
life was
body
not even in
cam footage.
danger. But also,
Okay,
like,
We can't ignore reality, bro.
again,
We all saw him get hit on his own
he
video.
that's what
didn't
you're
get
doing.
hit.
But,
That's what I'm
but hold
saying.
on,
to
So
you.
you're
Chad.
saying the
But
sound in the video
that's
of
what
the car hitting him
Did
never
you see
happened?
the other angles of
but
the video, Chad? Yes or no?
that's the
I've
point I'm making
seen the
about
other
seeing
angles.
untrained officers down there.
Did you see him get hit in those other angles?
In the
That
other angles, you see him slide across the concrete.
Did he get hit by the car in the other angles, Chad?
In the other angles, yes. And his video
No.
proved it. So you're telling me the other angles show him not getting hit, but then his
Yes,
video, he gets hit. And y'all are saying
because
it
he
didn't
didn't
happen?
get hit.
He
That's
got
what I'm
hit.
telling you.
He
No, he
got
did
hit.
not. He
Bro,
did
we've
not
all
get
seen the video. The other angles that y'all want to use, when the other angles were out, I was like, okay. I'm gonna tell y'all verbatim what happened. The first video came out. It showed people said, look at the tire wheels. They're spinning, they're moving. And I was like, I can't even tell what's going on here. Another angle came out from far away. You see something happen, then you see the car fly and it hits the pole. Then his video came out. I said, let me see his video. Okay, they're being combative. Okay, whatever. Then I hear the wife say, drive, baby, drive. He's holding the phone. Then I hear, thud. You hear the car hit him. Thud. He says, ooh. Then he shoots her. At that point, I'm like, it's nothing for me to even defend. Do I wish she died? No, I don't wish she died. Did she hit him with the car?
would have known.
But Marcus, you can't say, oh, he's trained. He should not have shot. If she took the car and hit him and ran him over, were you gonna say, oh, he shouldn't have been in front of the car? She should have never. She ran him over because he's in the way. No, wrong is wrong. They were both in the wrong. They were both in the wrong, but she lost her life because she hit him with the car.
A regular schneggler police officer, A, would know not to even be in front of a car anyway, and B, again, me and B have watched the video, unfortunately, and he was not in any kind of danger whatsoever. Not to be
you can say that, Marcus. You can't tell him what he perceived as danger. That's the problem.
Showing his point of view, and he looked even worse. That's
Marcus, if someone had a video of somebody we know getting run up on, and he shoots them, and then I go, his life wasn't in danger, and the dude who shot him goes, I feel like my life was in danger. I cannot tell them, no, your life wasn't in danger.
No, he should just be able to kill anybody because
I'm not saying that she should have died or he should have shot her, but I cannot tell him what he perceives as a threat with a car.
He could think he was in danger and start shooting.
He felt his life was in danger because the vehicle at that point
doesn't mean it was real, Chad.
That's why it happened.
Okay,
that's why it happened. You can't say what y'all are telling. But y'all are telling me her intentions were she's driving away. Nowhere did I hear her say, "I'm trying to drive away." Nothing. I heard the wife say, "Drive, baby, drive." She drove. He got hit. So what are y'all saying happened in the video when the car hit him? What are y'all saying? Or what happened? What did y'all say happened?
Okay, Chad. Let me take you at face value. Okay, let's say he in his mind thought he got hit. Cool, whatever. Even if I did believe that, fine. I'll take you at face value.
Okay.
He believed he got hit.
Yes.
That still is bad because he still reacted in a way that wasn't cool. That means regardless if he thought he got hit or not, he made a mistake. And
the action is he felt his life was in danger because she was in the vehicle. And we can't say she didn't see him. She tried to drive away.
Feelings and
He
fact
simply
is two separate things, my brother. Even if he felt he was in danger, he still popped her in the head when he wasn't. He could have
That's
been.
his
He
justified action for the danger he felt was in. If she,
he's
okay,
still
tell me this,
wrong.
tell me this, tell me this. If the video show,
Justified.
if the video actually showed she hit him and ran
Justified.
over him with the car, what would y'all say then?
Justified.
Then it was justified, but she didn't.
Hold on. Hold on. I'm still stuck on justified.
The hitting him isn't the problem. Y'all are looking at he got hit or he didn't get hit. He shot. A car going at somebody is considered a
It
deadly
wasn't at
weapon.
him though. It was going
Drive,
past him.
baby, drive. She starts driving towards him. She looking dead at him in the video. She starts driving towards
But
him.
it was
He
in
then
that,
gets
it was going
hit. He-
past him, Chad. That's what I'm trying
you
to tell you.
can't go
You make it
past
seem
somebody
like it
and
was
you
coming
get hit.
straight at him like the shorty on Holiday Heart.
That does
Like,
not
that's
matter.
what
It does
happened.
not matter. In the video, you
Yes,
literally
it
hear
does.
drive, baby, drive. The car hits him. You hear thud. He says, ooh. Then
I
you hear
mean,
a gunshot. You don't hear a gunshot before the car hits him. You hear the car hit him, then the gunshot. Now it all happened so quick. It is what it
oh,
is.
okay,
The
Christy,
shooting's
but listen,
justified. The shooting's
Christy,
justified, bro.
Christy,
I don't want her to die, but it's justified.
I mean,
We can argue, oh, he shouldn't have been in front of the car. Oh, she was trying to leave. Oh, she was trying to do this. Oh, what happened was he felt his life was in danger. She was driving a deadly vehicle.
from
He
a
got hit. He shot her.
slow-moving car.
Marcus, it could run over you. Somebody could drive 10 miles an hour and run you over.
Again, if it was coming head
That was
on toward
turning
him,
away from
I'd be more willing to go on your side. But that is not what happened. It was going past him. Now, whether he felt it hit him or not, that's
And-
not the point. It
and also-
still
It hit
didn't hit
him.
him.
And also,
you
if
saw
it
the
was-
video, bro. You saw the video.
I saw all
You saw the
three
videos.
videos.
You saw the
It
video.
didn't.
It's okay to admit he got hit by the car.
If
What
he
y'all-
did
what y'all
got hit,
don't-
I'll admit it. He did not get hit.
What y'all don't agree with is her being shot, and that's okay.
What I don't
That's
agree
what
with
y'all
saying
really
he got
don't
hit by
agree with.
cars. Like, he did not get hit by a car.
Man.
So when you hear in the video the thud, what was that?
I don't know what it was. Chad, I get what
Bro,
I
come on.
saw his
We
body
have
cam footage. I
reality.
know the thud you're talking about. I'm not saying you're lying. What I'm saying is on the other angles of the video from the wide out, not his body cam. That car did not hit that man. And you making it seem like he was getting run over screaming for bloody murder. That car
He
didn't
didn't
hit
have
him.
to.
I don't
He
care
didn't
if
have to
somebody
get
hit
run
him or
over.
not.
So you're telling me that the video of him getting hit, there's a thud. You don't know what that thud is.
Okay,
But
Chad.
then you're
Chad.
saying I'm going to the other videos to say, oh, he didn't get
because
hit.
the other videos are from the wide out, okay? On
I've
the
seen them
wide
all.
angle, when
I've
you
seen
see
them
it,
all.
okay, then how do you explain it not hitting him on the other videos, but
On
only
the
on the
other
one you talk about?
videos, you can't tell if he got hit or not. His
Yes, you
video
can.
proves he
It
got
goes
hit.
right past him.
It doesn't go past him. Okay, my whole case in point is if the other videos say the car went past him, then why does his video hear thud and you hear a thud, him say ooh, and then he shoots? If the other videos are showing the car drove past him, but his video is showing there's a thud, he gets hit, and you're saying I don't think he got hit. Let's go back to the other videos. Now we're back to his video. What does his
Okay.
video show? His video disproves that the car just drove past. Even if the car sideswiped him, he still felt like his life was in danger. You can't say, I perceive in the matter of 3 seconds, she's going to sideswipe me. No, he thinks I'm about to get hit by this car, whether it hit him softly, whether it hit him hard, whether it sideswiped, whether it fully crushed his ass. He was hit. The other videos
Regular
don't
smuggling
show.
police officers know not to just be shooting at fleeing cars. Okay?
If a regular
Like,
police
even
officer was
if
standing in
they
front of a
weren't-
car, Marcus, and telling you if it's somebody,
Why
if
the
you're
fuck would he
if
stand
you're
in
a
front of
police
it?
officer, if me and you are a police officer, stand in front of a car, and you walk over to the side door and say, get out, and then whoever we're trying to get in that car, we're telling, get out the car, and the person they're with says, drive, and I feel like my life is in danger as a police officer, I'm gonna shoot. And they're gonna say, well, why'd you shoot? They were driving a car straight towards me. I had 3 seconds to react. He didn't have time to go, all right, freeze frame. Do we think her intentions are to hit me? No, she's just driving at him. Even if y'all say she turned the wheel, in his video he got hit. In the other videos we could say he didn't get hit, but they're not even that clear to tell. In his video, you hear a thud, you hear a ooh, and then he shoots. It's like I can't deny reality in front of my eyes. Now, if it was just the other videos, I would probably say, yeah, the ICE agent is probably going to jail. But the fact we have his video with the sound of a car clearly hitting him, whether it swiped him, he got hit. Even the phone, he's holding the phone clearly. He gets hit. The phone is, he got hit. It's all
You
so
mean the
simple. He
same
got
No,
hit.
phone
he
he was
dropped the
still
phone because
able
he
to
put his
hold?
arms out against the car when she turned.
So
That
he got hit.
No, he pushed on the car as it was
So
turning.
he took his phone and had enough time to push off the car and shoot
Yes.
at the same time. No, B.
That's
Yes.
how
No,
little danger he was
B.
in.
Oh
No.
my
You know
god.
it. You can't deny what your eyes see. And you can't deny what your
I
ears
can't. You're
hear.
right. I can't deny what my eyes see. You
Oh my gosh.
100% right.
If we can't agree on that video, he got hit. Now, whether at this point he got hit. We all just need to admit he got hit. Now, whether we agree with him being with her being shot or why he shot, that's a whole different thing. He got hit, so he shot. We can't.
Okay,
There's nothing else
and
to
the point
talk
that I
about.
keep making, if there was somebody who was a lot better trained at law enforcement than that guy, then yeah, her death probably would not have happened. Also, I do find it kind of weird that the feds all of a sudden don't want to do a joint investigation along with the local PDs as well. I wonder why, but
I mean, they
which
can do an investigation. What's there to
but
investigate? He got hit in the video.
oh my God, Chad, law enforcement shootings get investigated
Investigate it.
all the
They're
time.
gonna say, "All right, let's see all the
Yeah, but
evidence."
what I'm saying is, it's kind of weird that only the feds is barring Minneapolis law enforcement from joining in on that investigation. Like,
The
which
governor and mayor told the law enforcement there, y'all not gonna help ICE. Why do they need to be involved in something that they told them don't be involved in? So after now somebody got shot, now y'all want to get involved? No, sit this one out. Sit this one out. You want to be out, sit it out. See, that's the problem. You can't say I don't want to help the feds. Then when something go wrong, oh, we need to be there to help the feds. We need to figure out what's no. You want to be out, you out. That's what I'm saying. They can't keep going
I
back and
mean,
forth about any of this.
but it's
Because
like
these
again, it's
areas
like
have law enforcement, though. That's the issue. And so now, what you want the government to go around and just
yes, he
violate the
does.
procedures of law enforcement?
He does.
Again, you know, this was the same fear Republicans had for years that the federal government would come into their cities and violate their civil liberties and overthrow their local law enforcement. Now that it's actually here, what we supposed to cheer about it? Like, I thought Republicans hated the very idea of this.
No, the people who voted for Trump voted for ICE to go and take away illegals. If the media,
They
Democratic
didn't vote
mayors
for
and
ICE to shoot
governors, Democratic
Americans.
politicians would stop talking bad about ICE and just say, you know what, we're going to cooperate 100% with ICE. We're going to let
If
our law
ICE is
enforcement work with
not
ICE. This
violating
stuff
human
would not
rights,
be
like what?
happening.
These politicians are telling the
If
truth.
Renee Good had not shown up to interfere with ICE, and we can't say she didn't interfere with ICE because her wife was out the car and I was like, yeah, big boy, dude, you guys say big boy and all that extra stuff. They were
We
there
didn't
out,
argue that she wasn't interfering
but
with
that's
ICE.
the
We know she was
problem. If,
interfering with
if
ICE.
Renee was never there, this would not have happened. They want to be political activists. She got a
Yeah.
bullet for it. Now she's being a fake martyr for it. It's pointless. People are out there riding the streets now over her dying for nothing.
Okay, well, I
It's
guess
all
now
for
we
nothing.
even. We got Renee Good. Y'all got Ashley Babbitt. Here, is that what you want to say? Like,
We
you know
don't.
what I mean?
Ashley
We
Babbitt got
canceling.
shot. Ashley Babbitt got shot because she's trying to break into a federal building, and she's not supposed to be doing that. Now she got shot. I mean, she shouldn't have done that. She got shot. That was justified to me too. I'm not saying I write it all Ashley Babbitt. No, she got shot because she was in the wrong, just like Renee Good was in the wrong. This is all just I just call reality like it is. If you in the wrong and
So
something happens to you, you were already in the wrong.
one was literally committing an act of terror, and the other was just turning away from.
He got
a
hit,
law enforcement
Marcus.
officer. But okay.
He got hit.
And
I
I
mean,
and my
I
okay,
think
but let's take the whole protest angle. You said, like ICE is upset because people are protesting them. Maybe they should stop going around brutalizing people. I don't
maybe
know.
y'all should
Like
just let ICE do their job. We can just say
maybe
this
they
from his
would if their
perspective.
job wasn't going around brutalizing people, American citizens at that, along with illegals. You know what I mean? Like, you want to talk about videos from Minneapolis? Talk about that video where they went to that store, grabbed that 17-year-old out of Target, whooped his behind, beat him up, and then threw him out on the street around the corner.
I haven't seen that video. I can't really speak on it.
Yeah. He was protesting ICE. They came to Target, and it was Dan Borgino was there with some of his ICE agents, and he was going. He said "F you" to ICE and all this other stuff. The one dude got his feelings hurt because he said some insults to him. He went in there, tackled him and another boy in there, grabbed.
If he did that just off the guy protesting and yelling out insults, then he was in the wrong.
Yeah, and then they took Dan Borgino was there. He was straight up there walking with his scarf out and everything like that. And he seen the whole thing. They would and the kid was shouting, "I'm a U.S. citizen. I'm a U.S. citizen." They grabbed him up, took him in the car, beat his behind, then threw him outside around the corner at a Walmart around the corner.
He
And
was wrong.
yeah,
They're in
and
the wrong. I don't know what y'all want me to say about that.
what I want you to say is here's the problem. The problem is Dan Borgino hasn't called it out once because he knows this is part of the culture at ICE. Because he knows that this isn't an outlier. This has been happening all over in all the places that ICE have invaded. It'd be different if one or two of his agents were doing stuff like this. The problem is it's baked into the culture.
I don't think that it's baked into the culture. I just don't think Dan Bongino is going to speak out and say, "Oh, we're just doing such a terrible job," over one officer getting caught up. They reprimanded him, probably did what they had to do for him.
He has
Probably
not
said,
been
"This isn't what
reprimanded,
we
by the way.
do."
He has not been reprimanded, by the way. And
Then what's
also,
happened to
if
him?
nothing, like, and that kid still it has the bruises. You know what I
There's
mean?
nothing I
And
can do about that.
I'm
He
not
shouldn't
saying
have
you
been
got.
beat up. He shouldn't have been beat up. I don't know what you want me to say. You want me to say ICE is
I'm not
bad?
saying
Like,
you can do anything. What I'm saying is though, if Dan Bongino was 100% confident in the work that his officers are doing, then you would be willing to call out these bad apples. This is what I think a lot of people, activists included, have been talking about with the regular police for years. If you was 100% okay with the job that your police officers were doing, every once in a while, you'd be willing to call out your police officers who shoot up unarmed black people, as Kel pointed out, like Sandra Bland and Tamir Rice and stuff like that. That's the problem people have with a lot of law enforcement in general, and that's what a lot of people have the problem with ICE, is that if you're not willing to call out at least one of your bad officers, you're not calling out any of the bad officers. And there have been way too many documented cases in these past couple months of ICE officers going around brutalizing people, citizens and non-citizens alike, that you can't just say it's a few people here and there. This is a problem with ICE as an organization. And nobody is calling it out. Nobody's doing anything. And it's because the cruelty is the point. The cruelty isn't an exception. The cruelty isn't an outlier. The cruelty was baked into the policy from the get-go.
I don't I don't personally agree with that. I just think that if you're sending federal officers in to take care of a problem that is very bad at this point, you're already having people go against you. You're already getting pushback from other police departments, other mayors and governors, the media, everything. You're going to have problems, point blank, period. Whether those problems are regular people getting beat up, illegals getting beat up, officers shooting people protesting, destroying buildings. Something bad's gonna happen in all of it. Do I think any of it's okay? No. Is something bound to happen? Yeah. Can we call out the bad stuff? Sure. Can we call out the good stuff? Yeah, we should. I mean, I don't know what y'all want me to say to that.
What good
People may
stuff?
be
I think that's my problem. There's way more many documented cases of quote unquote bad
but
stuff.
that's because you're being
What are the good stuff?
propagandized. They're gonna show the bad stuff.
What is the good stuff? That's what I'm trying to say.
The good
Like,
stuff is the illegals are being taken and sent back. The problem is the good stuff that y'all are looking for, you guys didn't vote for it, so you're never gonna see it. The stuff I voted for, they're doing. I'm like, he's doing a good job. Now, of course, there's stuff that's happening that I don't agree with. I'm not 1,000% Trump supporter where no matter what he does, it's just all good. That's why I gave him a 7.5, 8 out
But
of
the
10.
but the
Because the
creepy thing,
stuff they're doing,
the creepy thing about it though, you just keep saying, "Oh, it was a mistake." Oh well, shit happens. Oh,
that's
but
what all
this
this
shit just keep
is.
happening.
Okay,
Like
y'all are
that's what
saying it's built into ice. I'm saying I can't see that it's built into ice. I'm just like, bad stuff is going to happen when you have a group that's trying to do their job, another group's trying to oppose the job they're doing. At that point, it's already two conflicting views. You have one group that thinks they're doing one thing, another group that thinks they're doing a different thing. The activists think they're doing a good job protecting their fellow illegals, protecting their fellow citizens. ICE thinks we're just going in here trying to get illegals. We don't need anybody getting in our way. That's just two different views. I can't help that. I don't
like
know what y'all
how
want
does
me to
a
say.
like how does a ice raid even happen though? Like what's are there warrants involved? I mean, what is it? Like
What do you need a
where
warrant
we
to get
going?
somebody illegal for? There's no warrant
I mean,
needed. You're
how do you
illegal.
tell somebody's
you need a
illegal? You
warrant
just
to go into people's properties. Yes, you 1,000% do.
Okay,
I
to
mean,
go
but
into
I'm just saying
people's
like
properties, but
I mean, but how do you
if
tell?
you're illegal, like what are you talking about? You don't have rights to that.
I mean, I'm just saying
Yes,
like
you do. You can't
hold
enter
on.
into somebody's property without a warrant. You
So
definitely
you're
All right.
telling me, if an illegal person owns a house
yes.
and they say, we know there's somebody illegal there. You need a warrant to get somebody illegal. They have no rights that the
Yes,
U.S.
they do,
You're a
bro.
U.S.
You need
citizen
the warrant. You cannot just go and kick at people's door. It is not 1930s Germany. You can't just go down kicking people's doors, dog. Yes,
for an illegal.
yes, it's a. I
I mean,
forgot what the type of
hold
warrant it
on.
is, but it is a certain type of warrant.
I
And
typed in,
yes,
do you need a warrant to arrest an illegal immigrant? ICE agents
I
do not
literally
You
need
was
to
said
give
just
this a
property,
warrant.
Chad, to go on someone's property. But what I'm trying to say, like, how do you even start these raids? Do these motherfuckers just say, "Oh, okay, look at these farmers. They look Hispanic. Let's go rough them up and see if they got papers on them or not." Like, how do you even gauge legality anyhow? Like that's how flawed this is.
If you have your papers, if you're now that part, I can't give you the answer for that. I'm not gonna try to make up any BS. I can't give you the answer for that. I can't. Now, are there
Yeah, it's
people
almost
that
like
who
I
are
have to
probably
guess.
legal who are getting sent back who are technically legal? Probably.
yes,
Probably.
yeah,
Right, and we need to
1,000%. Yeah,
avoid that.
Probably. Yeah.
That's not a
Okay,
shit
I'll say,
happening
yeah,
thing.
yeah, there are. But you also have 20 million people here illegal. My whole point is if you have that many people here illegally, you cannot sift through the wheat. You cannot go, okay, I
you
gotcha.
can. They're just
You
lazy.
can't.
That's the
That's
thing
no,
we're ignoring.
it's
They're
too big.
lazy.
It's too many. Okay. If you said okay, here's a prime
But
example.
how do you
Let's say
start these
let's say
How do
you're
you
in
start
school
these
and you
raids?
let's say y'all are both in school. We're all in the same class. And Marcus, you say, you know what? Or actually B, you say, all right, y'all, I want to have all of our classmates come over and spend the night, right? And then you notice that over, let's say y'all spend the night 2 nights. First night, you notice there's a whole bunch of stuff missing. During the day, there's even more stuff missing. You gonna sift through and find out who it was that's considered stuff, or you just gonna say everybody gotta go because I can't trust none of y'all. That's what I would say. I'm not gonna go, well, it was 7 out of the 20 of my classmates. I'm gonna just say
How
everybody gotta go.
do these
Now,
raids
are there
even
some that didn't do
start?
anything? We've all been there. If you have a sibling and your sibling gets in trouble and your parents say, y'all both in trouble because the one got in trouble, I didn't do nothing. It does not matter. That's what I'm saying. Now, after the fact, you can make things right and make amends. But during the moment, we don't have time to sift through 20 million people. We just got to get them all out. That's why I said if they then come back, you should be just let into the country through a quicker process than this 20
But
years,
that's
2
not
years,
happening.
1 year.
Like
Well,
that's the
that's because we got to
problem.
get them out first. You can't just
But
come
Chad,
back in after we just kicked you out.
hold on. But I'm just trying to say. how, like, because
Marcus, I don't know how they gonna figure out who's illegal or not. Just get them
I'm
out.
just
It's
saying,
20
like,
million
what's the
people. We don't
danger
have
of these
time to
raids?
figure out
Like,
how many 20 million
Also,
is.
I'm just saying,
also
like, I
get
mean, so Chad, if you're just an ICE agent, so basically your point of reference is gonna be, I'm gonna be driving down, I'm gonna be riding around Conyers. Oh shit, here comes some guys. They look Hispanic. They're probably fucking illegal, but Hispanics are also Americans too. So I mean,
They're
how do
not
you
just
even
sending
speak
home
on
Hispanics. They're sending home
them?
Chinese. They're sending home
What I'm
Somalis. They're
saying,
sending
I'm,
home
I'm using that.
everybody.
I'm just using Hispanics as an example, but I'm just
Marcus,
saying
do
as
I
far as
think that they're hopping in their ice truck, driving down and saying, wait a second, that's a different ethnicity. Let's rag them up and send them out. No, they have a means of how they're doing it. Do some people get jumbled into the whole mix of illegals? Probably. As B would say, yes. There we go. Yes. But you got to get these people out. You got to get them out, Marcus. We cannot pinpoint and tallywag around how we're doing it, where is this person, is that person. You just got to get them out. Now, if you've made a mistake, you can admit your mistake. We're going to get you back here. We'll make the
okay,
process
but these
But
simple.
they're not
mistakes
trying to get
are,
them back. Like that's the other
but these
problem.
Yes,
mistakes are
what I
also
told y'all earlier, we
Americans
got to
who
get
have visas.
everybody out.
These
Then
are
we can worry
people.
about
These
them
are
coming
visa
back.
holders, and Americans are also being affected.
But you
That's what I'm
owning a
saying.
visa is not a privilege. That's a right. If you own a
They're
visa,
still not illegal though. You keep talking about these 20
that's
million
fine.
illegals. Them
That's
is not
fine.
illegals.
That's
So
fine.
so you
But if
want
you
all
say I
immigrants
don't,
out.
if you say we were just revoking your visa, they can do that. They
I
can
get
do
what you're
that. You
saying,
can't.
but your initial issue was about the 20 million illegals who came and hopped over here, okay?
Yes, and if they want to jump, if they want to jumble in be people on visas, well, I'm sorry for the people on visas.
So you don't have a problem
That's
with illegals.
so
You have a problem with
callous.
immigrants anyway.
I don't
That's
have a
your
problem with immigrants anyway. I'm saying if y'all want me to say people with visas shouldn't be removed, yes, true. Now, if they get lumped in and they say all of a sudden we're kicking people with visas out, what y'all want me to do about that? Be up in arms? Ah, the people with visas.
I
No,
mean,
they just gone. I'm
I mean,
sorry.
I mean,
They're
I, I
gone.
mean,
They're
even
not citizens. They're here on a visa.
even
That's
if
but
not
you're
they're
not
citizenship.
illegal. That's what I'm saying. Your
That
main
that's
issue is
that's
the
fine.
illegality.
That's fine. That is
okay,
fine. They're
even
not
if I was a
illegal.
card carrying Republican, my humanity is gonna kick in eventually. Be like, okay, this ain't whatever
My
they doing.
humanity is
This ain't
in. I'm
right.
saying, I'm
Okay,
saying, people getting sent back on visas. If you're on a visa, you're not illegal technically. You're here on a
but on what
visa,
grounds?
but you're
On what
not an
grounds?
American citizen. So if you get
On
sent
what
back, you're
grounds?
sent back. If
Okay,
you're
because
illegal, you're
again, we got the
sent
card.
back. If
We
you're
have
a
these
high
Call of
crime
Duty.
criminal, you're sent back. If you
We
have a
got these.
business and you're doing good and you're a productive member of society and you're still legal, you're sent back.
I hear
We
what you're
got three
saying,
more
Chad.
minutes, by the way. But
I hear what you're saying, Chad. I guess my problem is you started off that your main gripe was the illegality. And while
Yes.
I don't agree with you, I can understand at least where you're trying to go. You saying these
But you
people
don't
came
understand the visas because they're not technically illegal. They've
a,
gone
a
through a
lot of
process
these
to get
people
a
weren't
visa.
exactly illegal. But here
Okay, okay. I'll meet you there and say you're right. They should not send people with the visas back because you're technically not illegal. You've done some sort of paperwork to prove you're here for a reason.
yeah,
I'm
visas,
saying
asylum seekers, all type of people.
I agree. I agree with that. But what I'm saying is, I cannot get up in arms about the visa people if they are also sent back. Even if you've done all the paperwork, even if you're here on visa and they send them back, you're still not an American citizen. So
And
I
I hear
can't be up
you.
in arms about
I
that.
hear
I
you.
guess
But
that's
at
the
that point,
that's where we disagree. I guess. Well,
I
it's not
just
that we
don't
disagree. We
understand.
agree. You just
I
don't
just don't
understand
understand
why.
why you wouldn't be up in arms because you can't. The government, this regime can't say that they have one of the most comprehensive and efficient immigration policies amongst the past 6 presidents. Okay, you can't tout that. You can't tout that
You're saying
statistic
okay.
while
I see what you're
also
saying. You're
wrapping up
saying
visas,
you,
asylum seekers, and stuff like that. Because then that's a
you're
lie.
saying
That
why
is a
you're saying
flat
I
out
can
lie.
you're
Like,
saying that you don't understand why I'm upset that visa people are being sent back if they have touted that they should only be sending back illegals.
Exactly. That's my point.
Okay,
You
that
can't,
that's
yeah,
a
you
valid
can't go
reason, but
pump on your chest that this
I'm
system's
saying
efficient, and it's not. It's not
I'm
efficient.
saying that I'm saying that although you are right, they are not illegal. I am indifferent. I'm indifferent on that only because they are not U.S. citizens. Visa, you've done the paperwork, you're here technically legally because you're on a visa. I understand. If you're looped into what they consider illegal immigration, I'm not up in arms because you're not a U.S. citizen. Now, should you be sent back because you're on a visa? That's not up for me to decide. We both agree that they're not illegal, so we'll just say no. If they are sent back, I'm not too mad because they're not US citizens. So I'm not saying that I just don't agree with immigration in general. I do agree with immigration, but I can't just be mad to be mad about one little minute piece of the overall immigration process that
That's
needs
not fair.
reforming.
I guess
I
my
understand
issue
what
is
you're saying.
no.
I
What
understand
I
what you're
guess
saying,
my
though.
issue is though when you say minute, it's not minute anymore. He like it's a large swath of these people who he's filed under the Alien Enemies Act. He's getting them out of there, violating their court processes that they've been doing for years, under that they're alien enemies and stuff like that when they're clearly not. And I guess my issue is too, it kind of goes hand in hand with the whole ICE agents and National Guard bringing peace to these cities. That peace, how good can you measure a peace that's only there because you're sending armed troops through the streets? That's not peace. That's essentially that's just compliance and occupation.
Well,
That's a
I
piece
can't.
built
I
on
would
block.
rather. I would rather have that than
We're gonna let this be
lawlessness.
the last word, okay? Go
And
ahead, Chad.
could we agree, B, that we'll say this? How about this? We both agree that people being sent back on visas, they've done the paperwork. That should not happen. But it is happening in certain circumstances. They're still being rounded up like they are illegal. Now, if we send back everybody, and let's say we redo the entire process, would you be okay if they then said everybody that was sent back, but they had a visa that was in compliance, you guys will be the first round of people to go through the immigration process and be pushed through to either become US citizens or get back on your visas to come back to the US? Would you be okay with that? I think that the reason I'm not too up in arms is because the process has to be remodeled, redone. And even though those people are being caught in the wave of it too, which we agree they should not, but they are being caught in the wave. Once we get everybody out, they could be the first ones back. Could you agree to that? Because I don't think we're going to agree about the getting mad about it part. Because I'm not getting mad because they're not US citizens. I like immigration if done right. They've done it right, but like I said, they've been caught up in it all. The whole system's got to be revamped. But if they were the first ones that said, as soon as everybody's back, they say, we're going to go through the database. Who's on a visa? Who applied for a visa? Who was on a visa that got sent back? We're going to bring them back or give them the way to get their visa or a path to citizenship going forward. Would you be okay with that?
Yes, but here's my issue. So you mean to tell me after they do this complete overhaul of the immigration system, which I'm not too optimistic is going to be on your timeline of
That's
2 years,
fine.
but whatever. Let's say they do this whole complete like overhaul of the immigration system. They reorganize it so that those people get to the front of the line, and they decide, oh, only the good ones get to come to the front of the line and come back in. Okay, let's take what you just said, right? Here's my issue. If you had the time and the resources to go through them people and find out which one was the good ones by the time you kicked them out, why could you not do that before you kicked them out in the first place and follow due process under the law? That's
The
my
same,
problem.
the same way that I knew when everybody was stealing, when you knew everybody was stealing from your house, that me and Marcus didn't steal from you, but everybody else did. But at that point, you're like, I don't want anybody over at my house. But next time I let people over, it's just Chad and Marcus. That's the exact reason right there.
I don't know. That just still sounds like you doing the same thing, but picking and choosing when you're gonna do it. That's
They
the
gotta
same
pick and
thing.
choose. They gotta pick and choose. They gotta pick and
And by
choose.
that point, most of these people will probably be dead. Like,
All right.
like, but
I
Chad,
mean, they have to pick and choose. It's either I let y'all in or I don't. And in my eyes, I'm like, just get everybody out my house. Okay. You told me, Marcus, you didn't steal nothing. B, you told me you didn't steal nothing. I believe you guys. I've checked the cameras. Y'all were just sitting on the couch where everybody else was stealing. Next time I let people over, y'all the first ones that get to come over. I mean, that's just how it have to be. I mean, I could say everybody else but Marcus and B, but I don't feel like dealing with none of that. So everybody got to go. And that's me picking and choosing, but sometimes that's just what it is. We've all seen that in life. Sometimes you get to stay where everybody else got to go. Sometimes everybody got to go and you invited over next. I
well,
just think that's just how it is.
I
It's
mean,
just reality.
there's a slight difference between. I mean, I know that's just an analogy, but there is a slight difference between a little social situation like that versus a whole government entity. But anyway, Chad, just give your final piece on this and be finish us out.
Well, my final piece, I haven't talked about politics in months. At this point, I don't really even care. I just watch, view the stuff that I see, come up with my own opinions. If wrong is wrong, I call wrong wrong, right is right. So I try to view reality as what I'm given. And yeah, I mean, this is the most I talk about politics in like months. I mean, I understand from y'all point of view. I think y'all understand my point of view. Do I think any of us would be 1,000% happy what's going on? No. But we all agree that immigration's a problem. It needs to be reformed. And we got to do this. The system has to be done a different way for people to gain citizenship or be able to prove that people say they are who they are or they doing what they're doing. I think we all can agree on that. I think that's the main issue that we need to be fighting. Instead of fighting ICE, instead of fighting, oh, did they do this right? Instead of fighting, oh, they were really here on a visa or, were they really illegal? I just think we just need to all come together and say, the system is broken. We need something to do it. And I don't think bipartisan bills with a bunch of pork and extra stuff in it versus the main point that needs to be focused at works either. I just think everything just has to be reformed. Can we do it? Probably not. Will the stuff continue escalating? Probably. If somebody else gets in power, let's say a Democrat gets in power, it's just gonna go all the way back the other direction. Like it's not gonna matter. That's why I don't talk about it anymore. It's just like only thing I can do is worry about me and my house. That's it.
well, with that being said, thanks everybody for joining us and for tuning in. At a dope show here today. Thank you, Chad, for coming in and speaking with
Appreciate
us.
y'all for
Thank you
having
for
me.
everybody who was rocking with us in the comments. It's another episode of SOS, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. We do this every Wednesday at 8 p.m. We got Tenzin up top. We got me on the bottom. Our brother Lois can't be here today, but he is always a forever part of our show. Be sure to check in with the What They Want podcast on Friday. I think I got that right. Our sister's podcast, Raw Recovery, on Tuesdays, I believe her show is. I think, is that right, Tenzin?
I
Tuesdays?
believe so. Yeah,
Yeah,
Tuesdays.
Tuesdays for the Raw Recovery podcast. Check that out. I think I did. Yeah, I think we got all the shout outs handled. But yeah. Oh, speaking of the Raw Recovery podcast, if y'all could donate to that, please. She has a GoFundMe. She's trying to organize an event, a live event up in New York. Please, please, please help our sister out. She has put a lot of time and energy into this, and she it's something really near and dear to her heart. But otherwise, y'all, thank you so much. Take care of each other, be kind to each other, and we out. Peace.